Hey everybody, Dean Kulawira, IT recruiter at SRA Staffing. Been a while since I did one of these videos. This is actually like my third take. Like the first one, I couldn't even pronounce my own name. That's how out of practice I am doing these videos. So anyway, thanks for bearing with me. I know it's been a while since I did these videos again, but I will. I am starting to get back into it. I will be putting out these videos. Okay, so what I wanted to do is I got a great question on a post that I did earlier this week, and it's in relation to objections, interview objections. So I'm gonna read you the post, then I'm gonna read you the question, and I'm gonna share my thoughts and expand on it a little bit, and provide all of you with something that you can think about and do for homework and think about in your job search, right? For when you're at interviews. So the post that I put was, at the interview, an objection is something the interviewer can bring up that could potentially prevent them from moving forwards with you. Prior to the interview, you need to be honest with yourself and take note of these and prepare responses. So the question that I got, and it's a fantastic question, and the poster asked, "Hi Dean, do you have some examples of potential objection questions that individuals may encounter?" Yeah. And and then he goes on to say, "Always appreciate your posts. Very helpful in framing expectations from both candidate and recruiters' point of views. Really appreciate that. I'm glad to hear that those of you reading and following my posts are getting value out of it. So really appreciate that. And that means a lot. I will continue to put out the posts." So going back to the question, so basically he's asking is, some examples of objections. So I did respond to that message, but so just some examples of potential objections at the interview. It could be the role requires experience with tool XYZ. You don't have that experience, but you have experience with some totally different tool set or technology or whatever the case. That's a potential objection, right? Another objection could be the location. The job is located at a specific city, and you live like an hour away. That's another potential objection that could be brought up at the interview. Another one is maybe you work for a specific industry. Maybe you mostly been working in retail or banking or something that sort. And the employer is looking for someone ideally who's worked in manufacturing or logistics or some totally different industry. That could be a potential objection, right? Those could be reasons why they don't want to move forward with you, or reasons why they might want to consider other candidates instead of you, right? Now keep in mind, so first of all, what I want you to do is take note of these potential objections, like write them down and be honest with yourself. Now obviously you can't anticipate each and every objection. At least look at the obvious ones and take a look objectively at your resume, your background, your profile, whatever the case. Be objective, play devil's advocate if absolutely. I mean, that's always a great idea. And take note of these potential weaknesses, cracks, and again, potential objections that might be brought up, right? Now, keep in mind that as important as it is to prepare the responses or your rebuttals for these objections, keep in mind when you're at the interview, when they're brought up, you need to also remember, whether it's an actual objection or if it's just something that they're just bringing up to see how you would respond to it or whatnot. Because a lot of objections that might be brought up, they knew that you were lacking in some area before they brought you in. For example, let's say you live an hour away from the job. They already knew that. I mean, if your address is on your resume, they already knew that in advance. So is that an actual objection? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Like, you got to make that assessment. If they're looking for someone with experience with XYZ and you don't have that experience, but you do have experience with something kind of similar like ABC or whatever the case, and they say, hey, you don't have experience with XYZ, make a mental note. They knew that you didn't have that experience before they called you in. If it's not significantly displayed on your resume, when they were looking at your resume, before they gave you that phone call to call you in for an interview, they already knew you were lacking in that area probably, or they should have, did they ask you about that when they spoke on the phone with you? If not, maybe it's not an actual objection. Maybe there's something, maybe there's a hidden objection, right? I talk about hidden objections. So anyway, those are some examples of objections. So my point is, Take note of potential objections, anticipate them so that you can prepare for them and respond to them at the interview. Be objective. Play devil's advocate. If you want, get a colleague or a former colleague. Probably, maybe not if you're currently employed. You might not want to get a current colleague. You don't want them to tell your boss you're looking, right? And just get someone else to help you out, who's preferably from your industry, that could poke holes and kind of role play with you and drill you on potential objections. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. Hope everybody's having a great week so far. And if there's any particular topics you want me to cover, if you have any other questions, feel free to comment below and let me know. I definitely will be back to making videos more frequently and providing all of you with job search and interview tips and tricks and just practical advice that'll help you along your search. Again, thanks so much for watching. If those of you who don't know me, if you're an IT professional, make sure you connect with me, message me, call me. If we haven't spoken before, I'd love to be in touch with you, and guarantee at some point in the future I should be able to help you. If you want to reach me on my office line, I'm at 416-296-1772, extension 2036. That's during standard business hours. And if we're not connected, make sure we connect, and let's stay in touch. Thanks so much for watching again. Have a great day.